Anything from the fact that even though you had the injuries, you rebounded pretty well throughout the season. You finished strong. Anything that you grew from in that respect?
Yeah, a lot of mental toughness tested last year. A lot of adversity handled, but I figured as I've grown older and kind of gotten a little deeper in the game, gotten a lot better at handling it. So, rebounded from that, gone through the offseason, gotten healthy, and I'm ready to go.
Is it weird to say you're growing older when you're 22?
Yeah, definitely. Doesn't feel like it's my third year in the league. I'm still 22, so it'll be a blast. I'm just excited to see all my teammates again.
One of the things you've always excelled at since we've seen you up here is adjusting quickly to things. Where does that ability come from?
I think just always being like a smaller individual, kind of throughout the time I've grown up and played baseball, it's made me adjust to a lot of different things. I've needed to overcome some height and strength difficulties that I had growing up as a kid. I kind of just went through it and figured out how to hit the ball from not much power and just kind of hit the ball in general. And then now I'm getting older, developing into more power, so I'm kind of figuring out how to use that and transfer it into games.
How tough is that to not try and generate that power or maybe get outside yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I think in the minor leagues a little bit I tried to generate that power too much, and that kind of affected my play. I think just realizing that taking easy swings it generates more power than you think. I kind of compare it to golf a little bit, like the easier you swing, the better you're going to hit the ball. It's kind of the same thing here, if you're swinging too hard, your head's going all over the place, you're not going to see the ball, you're not going to hit the ball as well.
How different does it feel going into season 3 in terms of comfort or just knowing what your routine might be? What does it feel like in this offseason?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more helpful having more experience. I can't tell you how impressive it is for people to be in year 14 and they just come roll through the day and they're ready to play by 6 p.m. But no, I definitely know what I need to do every day now, and I know what I need to do to keep my body healthy. So I think finding those solutions is going to be super helpful this year.
Jackson, how important do you think it is to have consistency in the managerial position for the Padres?
Yeah, I think on any team it's super helpful to have a consistent manager. I'm not going to diss Shield at all. I think he was a great guy to me, and he treated me with a lot of respect and treated the players with a lot of respect. I'm excited for Stammen. He's a player. He's played the game before. He's been in it, so it's cool to have someone with that experience. It'll be cool to see a consistent vibe throughout the year too. No ups and downs, kind of just the same mentality the whole year. It's just kind of an FU mentality. Let's go at them. Let's beat them. Let's take everything we got.
What do you think it would be like to have a manager that is so closely removed from being a player himself, and how he'll be able to kind of connect with you guys in the clubhouse?
I think it's awesome. I think the game has changed. I've only been in the league for a couple of years, as we said before, but it's obvious the game has changed over the past 10 years. So someone that's really close being removed and kind of knows how it goes, knows how you're feeling, knows what players feel during the season, I think that's a lot of helpfulness. All of us are going to relate to him in more ways than we possibly think, and he's the man. He likes to talk shit. He likes everything. Pardon my language, but that's how he is. So only been around him for a couple weeks now here, but he's the man.
You were at Joe's Camp 44, I think, last week. What does it mean to have Joe back in that league? I mean, he's always been a leader, but knowing that he's going to be pitching for you guys in 2026.
Yeah, I'm just excited for him. It's huge for us to have him back in the squad, and it's huge for our rotation. But most importantly, I'm excited for him. I can't tell you how mentally tough it is to go through an entire season just kind of tagging along, doing your rehab, just getting through it. And especially him, like he's a grinder. He loves to work. He loves to play. I'm just happy for him in general as a human being. He's been such a good guy to me since the moment I debuted. Honestly, since before I debuted. So I'm just excited to see him happy again, just on the field, just dominating like he always does.
That FU attitude, how important is that for a ball player where failure is just baked into part of the game?
I mean, it's the most important part when you're playing games and you lose games. Like, you got to keep that same attitude. If you lose games and you're struggling, you lose that attitude, you get in a deep hole, like, it's not where you want to be. If you keep that FU attitude, you're still going to be on that upside, have that confidence that you always need. I think a little bit last year is kind of where I lost that, just a little bit, but, knowing that I have the ability to come out of those holes, like, I don't even have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, and in the minors, I believe you had was a wrist, I think. And you worked on your lower half. You worked on getting more mobile, stronger in your lower half. Is that something where you've always been trying to find a way to improve even in a difficult situation?
I don't really focus lower half or upper half or anything. I just focus on how I'm hitting the ball. It's all feels. It has nothing to do with like improving one side of your body. It's more of just how you feel and how you hit the ball. I don't look for certain tweaks in the lower half or certain tweaks in the upper half. I just look for the stuff that feels good and the stuff that makes me on time to hit a fastball. If you're on time to hit the fastball, that's the most important pitch you got to hit. It's the pitch that gets thrown the most, so if my swing feels good, it's on time for the fastball, ready to go.
Speaking of fastball, you've got a pretty good look when Mason comes to the mound. What's that like, just kind of being right behind him, watching what he's doing?
It's incredible. And Mason's the man too, super nice guy. We can stay off the topic of 2024. I've only seen him for one pitch, so hopefully spring training I can get away with it and not face him at all, and just keep that one pitch in the back of my mind. But he's electric. He's electric. He's even better person off the field too. I'm just excited he's on our team. Everybody else is.
I was gonna say, how quickly did that come up?
Actually, I think Jason Adam was the first person to bring it up. You can believe that. Just kind of just threw it out there to make it awkward. But no, Mason was super cool about it. I was super cool about it. I would never bring that up to a teammate.
What about your second year in a row for bobbleheads from the giveaways?
Yeah, I'm excited. I've seen a couple of them. Star Wars one, that's pretty cool. Saw that one. My family was most excited about that one, though. I'm just honored to kind of be a part of that and have my own bobblehead. As a kid, you see all the bobbleheads, you grow up collecting them, and to have my own, it's super cool.
You leave your line about the Friar Faithful as you guys are relentless. How much are you proving that out there right now?
Yeah, I mean, no matter what team we got, we're going to stay relentless. That's how we are. The word plays into itself. It kind of speaks for itself. That's how we are. And when you think San Diego Padres, you think relentless.
Obviously, the Dodgers
Time for one more.
The Dodgers have another one of their typical off seasons, adding every all-star they can possibly think of. When you see that, does that almost make you want to double down and be like, okay, it's going to be more fun to beat them now?
No, I don't really think anything about that. I don't think that should be the focus. I think the focus should be winning baseball games against every team. I don't think focusing on the Dodgers is going to help us win it all. I think if you focus on a certain team, when you get to play that team, you're going to tense up. You're not going to be the same team. You got to go into that series like we're playing anybody else. That's how it is. Everybody has a good baseball team nowadays. Nobody's bad. Pitching is good everywhere. So, they might have added a couple bats and stuff, but we got to go and we got to play hard. That's the only way we're going to beat them.
Perfect.